YouTube, what's good? It's Christian and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a story time video. If you guys didn't know, I put a poll on Twitter asking what my next video should be. You guys all voted story time, so that's what today's video is going to be. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. So today's story time is going to be about the first time I decided to skip class. Yeah. So so I forgot which day. I forgot what day it was. No, I think it was a Friday. It was a Friday. I forgot the month. But it was a Friday, and I remember my friend JT texted me, and he's like, "Hey, yo, you want to skip class on Friday?" And I think it was like he texted me like on Monday, I think, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." Cause so let me first start off by telling y'all guys, like, skipping class is kind of always something I kind of wanted to do, cause I'm a senior now. So when you're a junior, you kind of like you kind of start being rebellious. You kind of want to be like, you know what, high school's almost over. Might as well make the most of it. So and so yeah, he hit me up on Monday, and I texted him back. I was like, hey, yeah, sure. So a whole week goes by, and it's Thursday. It's the day before we're supposed to actually skip class. So there were like 3 things wrong with me skipping class. First thing is that if my parents find out, I'm dead. Second thing is that it's a math class, and I'm terrible at math, so it's not like I can just come back the next class and be all caught up. And the third thing is, what if we get caught by security and I end up with a detention or something, So like, I have all those thoughts racing through my head. And the thing with my school is that when you skip a class or when you miss a class, they call you. So they'll call your house and they'll be like, hey, so-and-so did not show up to class at this time. Can you tell us what happened? Like, they'll do stuff like that. So the whole night, I had like a nightmare and everything. The whole night, all I could think about was that. So the next morning comes, and it's the day we're supposed to skip. I'm, lightweight nervous, and then lightweight, trying to stay cool, not trying to be all like, all freaked out, in front of my friends, because then they're gonna be like, oh, you can't hang, like, man, get out of here, you know what I mean? So it was me, my friends JT, Ruben, and Raziel. We all skipped our math class that morning. And I think my friend Raven knew that I skipped, because I told her, I was like, hey, yo, Raven, I'm skipping class, I'm nervous, give me some pointers. She was like, you'll be fine. When you get home, just answer the phone at this time, because this is when they're gonna call. So I'm over here like, kind of feeling kind of relieved, because I'm like, I was freaking out, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I prayed. I did. I prayed the night before, because I was like, God, I'm about to do something that I really shouldn't be doing, but you know what? You only have one life. You better live it, to the fullest, or, you better live it big time, as a certain boy band would say. What y'all know about that Big Time Rush, man? That was my show when I was a kid. But yeah, so we get, so I think my friend JT gets there first, and he's the one with the car, so I just hopped in his car, we just chilled in his car. We waiting for my other friends to get there. Once they got there, we hopped in my friend Raziel's car, because his car was faster. I think it's because his car was faster, and because no one else wanted to drive their cars. My friend Ruben ended up driving, because my friend Raziel and JT, they didn't want to drive. So they were all seniors, by the way. So I'm the only junior in the car. Everybody else is all seniors. They've all done this kind of stuff before. This is my first time. I'm over here freaking out. They're very good, but they're good people, though, because they're kind of calming me down. They're like, man, you're gonna be fine, man. Just chill out, So so we leave. So we're waiting for security to make sure they pass by. Make sure there's no, make sure there's no cops there. By cops I mean the school security, not like actual cops, but making sure there's no like security there. And then once we got the okay, we bounced. So my heart's racing, because I'm like, okay, what if we get caught by security? And then we waited a few minutes. Then we finally drove outside of the school, and like that was the first wall broken. By wall I mean like like my first wall of nerves were broken. So I'm like, okay, so we made it past security. So now it's like, all right, now what are we gonna do for the next hour and 42 minutes? So the first place we went to was this Mexican restaurant. I cannot for the life of me remember the name. It started with a J and ends with an S. I think it's like somewhere in Oakley. It's really good too. My friend recommended it. He was like, you know, they have the best like breakfast burritos there, you know. So it was really cool. It was really good. While we were there, you know, they all speak Spanish, you know, because, you know, all three of them, they're all Mexican. So, you know, they all speak Spanish. So, you know, of course they're going to order in Spanish. And I was hoping that one of them would have been like, okay, you know what, you know, there's only one dude here that speaks English, you know, let me order in English too. No, they all decided to order in Spanish, leaving me over here looking like an idiot because I did not know what the heck to say. And I was like, you know, they're over here like, oh yeah, let me get this, let me get this, let me get this in Spanish, you know. I'm over here like, you know, can I just get a water and like a burrito? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know? And so it was hecka like, I felt like an idiot. I was like, you know, they're over here speaking Spanish. I'm over here just speaking in normal English, like, you know. But the waitress, and then it was funny because the waitress kind of not called me out, but she kind of spoke on it. She's like, you don't speak Spanish like your friends? I was like, nah. She's like, how you gonna be friends with she's like, how your friends speak Spanish but not you? And then she told them, she's like, you guys better teach him. And then she's like, when I come back to the table, you better be ready to order in Spanish. So I'm over here trying to get tips from them, like, bruh, tell me something I can just say in Spanish. I don't know, just give me like one word or something. You know, they tell me, she comes back. I tried to say, give me some water in Spanish. It did not come out right. So I was like, you know what, let me just get a water. She's like, I'm just kidding with you or whatever. And so we ate. I think I paid for it. Yeah, I paid for it because I was like, they're gonna give me the money back. You know, I was the one that had like brought extra money because, you know, I was the one that brought extra money because, you know, I stay like to, every time I go places, I always like to bring extra money just in case I can't pay for something. Or just in case, you know, I get stuck at a restaurant, which is a different story for a different time, for a different story time. But so we leave there and we get back in the car and everybody's like, okay, what are we gonna do now? I was like, let's go get some donuts from Krispy Kreme's. And so we end up going to Krispy Kreme's, and so it's already like, you know, class is like an hour and 42 minutes. So like that's all of 9 o'clock was done of us sitting down, getting our food and eating it. So now we're like at 10 o'clock, and we were all the way at Oakley. So, you know, Oakley's kind of like not far from Brentwood, but it's kind of like, you know, it's out there. So we ended up going from Oakley to Brentwood, which is like another like 20-minute drive, 10 to 20 minutes. And so now we're there in Brentwood, and you know, I go in, I'm like, all right, who all wants donuts? You know, they're like, I'm not really sure. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna just get a dozen. So I asked for a dozen, they made them fresh, and then we're looking at the time because we're trying to make sure we get back to school by like 11, or no, by 10:42, because that's when class ends. And so so literally it's like 10:35, I think, and the donuts are just now getting glazed. And I'm like, bruh, we're gonna be late. So finally the donuts are finished. We all hop in the car like it's a clown car. Like all you see is like do in the car. And this is where the madness starts. So my friend, alright, he's somewhat pretty good at driving. My friend, I guess he's trying to like, we were driving, you know, on the way back to the school, and my friend was trying to play around and trying to drift, right? And so my friend's over here trying to play around and trying to drift. I'm like, bruh, let's go. We just gotta go to the school. So, you know, he's like, should I do it here? I'm gonna do it. And so we're all like, F it, you know? And little did we know was that like, when we drifted, I guess he drifted a little too far, and we drifted into the dirt, and then the car got like messed up. So I'm over here thinking that, you know, we crashed, we're all dead. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what? You know, my heart's not exhilarating because it's like, you know, it's not like we crashed, but like we crashed. You know what I mean? And so we all like, you know, we get out, we're like, holy crap, you know, holy shit, this is crazy, you know? And so we all get out the car, we all look at the car's just messed up. The car is done. You know, the tires are all popped. The car's like literally like pushed down, like someone like flattened it. and we're all screaming, we're all like crap, man. And my friend JT's over here in the background just laughing his butt off. I was like, bro, we could have died. What you ain't shit funny, my boy. Like, we could have died. And he's like, bro, that was awesome. I was like, that was not awesome. And like, I remember something hitting me in the nose. I remember my nose was hurting. And I was like, is everybody okay? We're all touching me. We're all like, is everybody okay? Like, does everybody still have limbs? Does everybody still have fingers? Now I remember like something dripping down. I'm like, okay, I got a nosebleed. But it's not coming from my nose. It's coming from like my nose, like my actual nose. And it turns out when we hit the side of the concrete, the rear view. I thought my friend's iPhone, big old iPhone 6 Plus, hit me in the nose, but it wasn't. It was the rear view. It come to find out, it was the rear view mirror that like popped out and like hit me in the nose. So I'm over here like, oh my god, am I okay? Everybody's like, you're fine, dude. I'm like, is it a pink spot? They're like, no, it's cool. It's just like a little cut, like, I mean, luckily it wasn't badly hurt. And I also heard that like, if we would have like, we were like 2 inches away from a pole. If we would have hit the pole, we would have been done. I would have been done. And if I didn't have my window rolled down, which thank God I was hot that day, so if I didn't have my window rolled down, we would have been done then. And so all I could think about was like, holy crap, how are we gonna get back to school? They're all just chilling. I mean, not chilling, they're all freaked out too, but they're all kind of just like, all right, they're all kind of chill. I'm over here freaking out, so I'm like, okay, listen, I can't miss 2 classes in a row, because if I do that, I'm for surely done, And so, luckily handy dandy Uber came through, and oh, did I mention that all of this happened while I still had the box of donuts in my hand? I was clipping those donuts to the max. Like literally I was like, okay, yeah, I could have lost my life, but you know what? I paid like $10 for those donuts. Okay, so I'm over exaggerating the price, but I paid good money for these donuts. I'm not gonna just let them. I'm not gonna just leave them here. I'm gonna clinch these with my life. And so, we're all like, we all look like, you could kind of tell that we were skipping class, to the other adults that were driving on the road. They're probably like, okay, these kids are probably skipping class. Either A, they're probably like, okay, these kids are skipping class, or B, they're like, what the hell are these kids doing? And so, we're all just walking. There's like a Chuck E. Cheese there. So we all walk to the Chuck E. Cheese. There's like a little bench. We all kind of sit down and gather our thoughts. And, I'm over here freaking out because I'm like, okay, listen, as much as I have to stay here, guys, I can't. I can't miss another class. And I was like, you know what, just forget it. I'll just tell my mom what happened. My friend's like, nah, you're gonna take your ass back to school and you're gonna learn. We'll handle this. And I was like, are you sure? They're like, bro, just go. We don't want you to get in trouble because of us. So, part of me wanted to say, y'all are some true friends, but the other part of me was like, but the other part of me wanted to argue back and was like, no, bro, I have to stay here. Like, I feel bad, So, long story short, I called an Uber. I went back. I was like, anybody else trying to come back with me? What are we gonna do? They're like, no, you just go. We'll handle this here. So they call a tow truck, and they call a tow truck or whatever. I'm on my way back to the school, and oh, I didn't mention before I called the Uber. So as I'm waiting for the Uber, there's like cops at the Wendy's, like across the street from the Chuck E. Cheese's, and literally all of our hearts dropped. We're like, okay, we could get in trouble somehow. The cops could somehow get us in trouble somehow. I didn't know if it was like against the law to skip class or whatever. I don't know. But I don't know if it was either against the law to skip class or against the law of the fact that the car is totaled and I saw 14-year-olds stranded, kind of looking like they were stranded at a Chuck E. Cheese's. So, luckily they didn't do anything. They just got their Wendy's and they bounced. But my Uber came. I was on my way back to the school. I'm over here making, double time with all my friends. I'm like, you guys okay? You guys good? You guys good? So I get back to the school. I'm like 2 minutes late to class. With like 2 minutes to spare. Cause it took my Uber like 20 minutes to get to where we were. And I was like, bruh, come on. I gotta go back to school like now. And I got in. I bolted to to house 3. Anybody who goes to my school don't know what house 3 is. Don't know that house 3 from the main office is super far. Okay, my school, real quick side note, my school is like a fortress, okay? And by fortress, I mean like my school looks like a prison, all right? So you have like your main amphitheater, which is like where all like, you know, rallies and stuff happen. And then you have like 2 gym, you have a gym over here, a gym over here. You have the back parking lot, and the library, and then you have like the front parking lot, which is the main building, and then the main office building. So I came into the main office building because they locked these, and then we have gates that lead into the school. They locked the gates, like they locked all of the gates. So I'm like, all right, the only way I can get in through the school from the front is the main office. So I'm over here like, you know, walking through the main office, hoping that, you know, none of them would stop me. I walk in, there's security just there, you know, there's security there, and I was like, oh crap. And I'm like, okay, they could say something, but then they just thought I just came to school late. They probably thought I just went to Krispy Kreme. I still have the Krispy Kreme box in my hand, by the way. They probably thought I went to Krispy Kreme's, and I was like, I just came to school late. And so, you know, luckily it didn't stop me. They didn't stop me, luckily. So then, you know, my nose is still in so much pain. I finally make it to class. All my friends are there. And I'm like, y'all will not just believe what just happened. I'm like, my friend Raven, she goes, so how was your first time skipping class? I was like, we almost got into an accident. Cause you know, we lied, you know, we didn't want to sound stupid by saying like, oh, we were acting stupid, but that's exactly what we were doing. But so we lied, I lied, and I was like, you know, we got into a really bad like accident, you know, some dude was speeding from behind us, almost hit us, we had to swerve out of the way, you know? And so they're like, oh my gosh, you okay, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. All my friends are fine, you know. Something hit me in the nose, and I think it was my friend's phone, you know, because, you know, in case you guys don't know, which I'm pretty sure you guys do know, but iPhone 6 Pluses are like, you know, these things are big, and they're not really heavy, but like, this thing's coming at you full speed, this thing can really like do some damage, you know? Ow, that kind of hurt. But, so for so long, I kind of thought, like, you know, it's just, oh, my friend's phone. It's just my friend's phone. My friend's phone hit me in the nose. And then the next time we had that class, because we had like a 3-day weekend, so I think that like the next time we had that class was like Tuesday. I went back. My friends were like, dude, are you all right? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. They're like, you know, my friend JT texted me. He's like, dude, how's your nose? You all right? I'm like, I'm cool. My nose is fine. It hurts like a bitch, but it's fine. There's like a little bruise on it, so it looks bruised. I don't think you guys can see it anymore. Probably not. But it was like kind of bruised or whatever. And so then you know, we had class, and we all were like, well, that was an adventure, wasn't it? So me, you know, over here still paranoid that I'm gonna get that phone call. And even though skipping class was bad, I think God really answered my prayers, because when I got home, the school never called. And the reason why the school never called is because our house phone was disconnected. And all I could say was like, thank you, Jesus. I was like, you know what, God, I know I just did the most terrible thing ever, but you know what? You came in and you just came through and you blessed me. You know, even though I did almost lose my life today, you did come in and bless me. And, you know, now that I look back on it, I'm like, long story. I'm like, you know what? All of this happened for a reason. You know, obviously this is just a lesson saying like to never skip class anymore, because or else, you know, some worse could happen, you know. And like I'm serious, like, you know, this is my first time skipping class and all this stuff happens. I was like, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna be skipping class for a while. You know what, as much as I hate it, as much as I don't feel like going to class, I'm gonna just have to bear with it, because I'd rather go to class and see my friends than one of us be dead in a car. And my parents, I never told my parents, you know, so they probably, if they watch this, they're gonna find this out and they're gonna probably be really mad. But yeah, that's my story. It was crazy, you know. Will I ever skip class again? Probably not. But if it happens, it probably will be me just sitting at home saying I'm sick. You know, other than that, my booty is going straight to class, and it's going to sit there, and it's just gonna take the pain and the boringness and and whatever else. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Check Twitter. Always make sure you guys check Twitter. I will be making polls for each and every video I do next, unless it's like a special video. My friend Michael, he comes back from Minnesota pretty soon, so I want to do the best friend tag with him because that's my best friend. So you know, so if it's a special video like a tag video, like the girlfriend tag, then I'll let you guys know. But other than that, check Twitter. Always check the pinned tweet because I'll either have the link to the video or I'll have the poll set up there. If not, then you're probably gonna see me retweet it and quote it like 80,000 times because you know you can retweet yourself now. So check Twitter. I'm thinking about posting videos. I want to say Saturdays. I want to do them. I don't know about every Saturday, but I want to make sure I want to post videos on Saturdays, and then my vlogs are going to be posted at random, depending on, you know, when I'm doing something interesting or like when I'm doing something like career related. So my vlogs don't really have a set day of when they're going to be posted, but my fun videos will always indefinitely be Saturdays. I don't know which Saturdays. I don't know, you know, if I'm going to make it every Saturday. I don't know if I'm going to make it every other Saturday, but just note that Saturday is probably going to be the day that I make a video like this, you know, like a storytime video or a things I hate video or something like that. So thank you guys for watching. Click the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, comment, put it in the comment section if you ever skipped class and something you know, something crazy happened to you the first time you skipped class. Check out my last video. Welcome to my channel video. In case you guys don't know what I'm going to be doing with my channel, or in case you're new and you don't know. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.